Peymon who?
Mottahedeh.
Peymon Mottahedeh. Who is he?
Never paid taxes in 30 years. Fought the U.S. tax court and won.
See, I believe our rights come from God, not from government.
Hello to you, my truth and freedom-loving friends. I am Peymon Mottahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996, and for over 30 years, openly, I have not filed and paid any federal, income, or payroll taxes, and I've taught scores of Americans like you to do the same. Our website is freedomlawschool.org. That's where you're going to find answers for you to live free. However, in this presentation, I will cover how the American people became slaves despite the fact that the 16th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution did not give Congress the power to enslave or tax you, the American people, directly. With that, folks, let's now go on to the Founding Fathers, folks. The Founding Fathers of America, folks, they want you to know the truth about America's heritage of freedom, our God-given rights, and how they made sure that you never become a tax slave of the U.S. government. If you look at America's Founding Fathers, the Declaration of Independence, and the U.S. Constitution, they talked about God, your God-given rights. You were born with these rights. That the government is there only to secure those rights. And the Constitution was written only to secure the blessings of God-given liberty for you folks. So with that being the system in America, how was it that you became a slave unwittingly? It was all done through deception, folks. Satanic deception, pure and simple. You see, folks, the U.S. Constitution limits the federal government's power to directly tax you. That's why in the early 1800s and late 1700s, they'd done direct taxes where the federal government just sent a bill to the states. Each state was collecting this much to keep 10% and give the other 9% to the federal government. Because direct taxes, folks, had to be apportioned or divided up among the states like it was done that way. But when the international bankers wanted to create a Federal Reserve Bank that made money out of thin air to lend to the federal government at interest, they didn't want that. So what they did, they pretended to have the 16th Amendment of the Constitution, get rid of the apportionment of direct taxes among the state requirements. So once they did that, the people believed they got to file income taxes. But the U.S. Supreme Court clearly has said that the 16th Amendment did not give Congress any new taxing powers. So if 16th Amendment did not give Congress any new taxing powers, how did they do the scam on the American people? Well, folks, it's simple. They use the term United States in tax law. You think the 50 states united. You think the American 50 states as a whole, but no, they mean, as Supreme Court says, the territory over which the federal government is sovereign. That's Washington, D.C., and its lands, buildings, dockyards, and territories. Yes, the Constitution allows the federal government to do whatever they want in the land that became Washington, D.C., and any of the lands that it may acquire to protect and defend the American states. Okay, so based upon this thing, in the case of Down versus Bidwell in 1901, upheld tax from U.S. territories like Puerto Rico, which were not apportioned, even though it was a direct tax they did in Puerto Rico. That's why you see in the Internal Revenue Code, folks, the Title 26, right here, this gobbledygook, folks, I got it right here. This is the federal tax laws, the Bible of the IRS. That's what you're looking at online. All the gobbledygook. They hid the definitions in the back in section 7701. Okay. And here, that's why the definitions, when used in this title, Title 26, United States and state are defined as what? Not the 50 states, only DC, none of the 50 states, or even any U.S. territories are listed. That is the only people in America that have to file and pay federal income taxes. People who are citizens or residents of Washington, D.C., or the District of Columbia. This territory income tax form is the D.C. U.S. individual income tax return, not the 50 states income tax return. Now, this is a brief overview. If you go watch the video below, folks, watch the video below in the link. It's about 40 minutes. I go over this and more in more detail, slower, so you clearly understand this issue. How you were never meant to be a slave. You're no longer a slave if you choose to. You can be free. Don't give your money to the corrupt politicians, the swamp in DC. Do not fund the FBI, CIA, DOJ, all of the crooks and enemies of you, the American people, and your family. Restore your family and your pocketbook and America all at the same time. Watch the longer, more complete video on this topic in more detail and go to freedomlawschool.org to live free. Once again, I give you my love and wish you all freedom now.